Hello! I stuffed my mouth with gauze to record this, so we have 10 minutes. Ready? Go! This is the Sinner review for the S-rank catalyst Shin. Shin is a healer and Emperor who is just OP. With very strong healing numbers immediately and 3 buff types, she is a versatile support that can find a slot in basically any team. As an Immortal, Shin has the M value gimmick, this circle that turns red after it fills up at 60 M value. White circle is normal or uncorrupted form, while the red circle is corruption state. Corruption state gives bonuses, so you usually want her to be in that. For each ally she heals, Shin gains 1 M value, up to 6 per second, and it ticks each second. Shin cannot use energy to get M value, so empowering her is useless. Also, if Shin gets her full 60 M value, even for just a moment, she will perform the animation and enter corruption state. Shin's basic attack is a heal. At S0, she heals any ally in the diamond-shaped range around her. Crunching some basic numbers, Shin's uncorrupted heal is almost double of Hamel's initial healing, while corrupted form is a very high amount as well, though Hamel's maximum output is still higher. Even if she is stunned, Shin will continue to heal as normal and gain M value. At S1, the range of her basic attack, which is her healing, expands to be the entire map. Keep this range expansion in mind for the rest of her kit. Of course, map-wide healing instantly from the start of battle is great, but it does actually clash with shield stack, as you want Demon's HP to be as low as possible to increase his shield amount. That's why you don't see Shin being played in shield stack teams. Shin's ult drains her M value to buff the attack of the allied Sinner inside the range of her healing, which is a decent 18% in uncorrupted form and 27% when corrupted. This is 35.1% for Immortal Sinners because there is a bonus from a part of her kit. This value is almost as high, and for Immortals, is higher than Cabinet's fully stacked ult, which is very wild. And yes, this means that S1's range expansion makes her buff everyone on the map. Well, on the Chinese server, there were over 18 bugs found for Shin. Some of them were related to this range expansion not working correctly, but they have been fixed since then. We might get the bugs for a while as well on the global server, so check the pinned comments for status updates about the bugs on global. By the way, if she changes into corruption state during her ult, she will change into her higher attack buff value automatically. Shin's P1 grants allied sinners inside the range of her healing stacks of 4% normal attack damage bonus every 2 seconds, up to 10 stacks. If they leave her healing range, they lose 1 stack per second. The full bonus is 40%, which is higher than Lady Pearl's P2 bonus of 30%. Moreover, it's quite easy to keep your main DPS in range, and if you have S1, then it's impossible to leave the range since it's the whole map. This grants your whole team the bonus easily. This does work on summons like 11's hand slaps and Summer's drones. Shin's P2 directly grants the whole team a 6% damage dealt bonus for each Immortal Sinner on the team, up to 6 stacks. Shin herself counts, so you will always have at least 6% of this. And if you are running a Pilja or Mantis carry, then it goes up to 12%. This also makes Shin a nice option for Bleed Team's healer in long fights, since she can buff Drea's attack and give 12% full uptime damage dealt bonus to Drea. It is not recommended to run a full Immortal team, as the synergy between all of them is quite weak. Of note, this whole team includes units, and by units, I mean summons. Summons will double dip this buff, eating it once as a snapshot from their summoner, then directly getting it from Shin another time. So a 6% bonus for Summer's drones is actually 12%. Shin's shackles are quite powerful. We've talked about S1 already. S2 and S5 are healing bonuses. S3 is the key shackle. The Immortal constraint for the attack bonus and damage dealt bonus is removed. This means in the corruption state, Shin buffs everyone for 35.1% attack, higher than Cab, and her P2 becomes permanent 36% damage dealt buff for everyone. How's that for Path to Catalyst? Remember that P2 double dips on summons, so drones and hands will eat 72% damage dealt bonus from S3 Shin just by having Shin stand in the team. I'm telling you guys, Summer has been eating too good these days. S4 makes allied sinners immediately get 8 stacks of P2 when the battle begins, so it only takes 4 seconds to get the full 40% normal attack damage buff instead of 20 seconds. Shin's ECB grants 10 M value to allied sinners inside the range of her healing for 6 seconds. for a total of 60 M value. At ECB 3, from a full initial M value, you can sustain just over 30 seconds of ult with this. Definitely worth unlocking ECB 1 at least. ECB 2 is nice to have to extend her ult for a bit more uptime. ECB 3 isn't really a must, but it can be quite useful. For pull recommendations, S0 is highly recommended and complete as a general character. S1 is a great quality of life shackle and it's worth getting if you have some extra pulls or if your S0 comes home quite painlessly. I strongly recommend S3 for summon team mains, those who are intending to play a lot of the Forge Summon 11. You will see the most benefits from this shackle, basically jumping from a 12% to a 72% gain on her P2, but it's not really a must pull for most casual players. S4 is a speedrun shackle. 20 seconds is totally fine for most players in BFL. Some bosses don't even show cores until then. It's also not that important to wait for her P2 to fully stack to burst the boss down because she already buffs so much, so I wouldn't recommend it for most players. All in all, Shin is a great support unit who is definitely worth pulling, with strong shackles if you choose to chase a few. New chiefs without Hamel or Turo should absolutely aim to get her, while veteran chiefs short on cubes who are saving for anniversary, you can kind of skip her and use Hamel with Cat with Lady Pearl, but you'll probably regret it later on, because Shin is quite literally the most perfect support for the Anniversary Limited. Now it's time to go fishing for Shin in the Disc. Good luck, Chief!